Welcome to Artificial Reality, the reality behind AI adoption. I'm your host, Galina Fendikevich, and with me today I have Jennifer Kerum, founder of Luxury Yacht Rentals. Today we'll talk about what's working, what's broken, and what still needs to be built in the luxury yacht rental market. Jen, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into luxury yacht rentals.
Yeah, well, have you ever been to Croatia before?
I haven't, no, it's on my bucket list.
Okay, well, Croatia is what got me into yachts. My dad is from Croatia, and I spent every single summer on the Adriatic coast. And I sat there and thought, how can I be every single summer for the rest of my life? So that's when I decided to open my company with my partner. And now every single summer I get to live on the Adriatic coast and beyond.
Oh my gosh. You're so lucky. That's the dream life.
You know, people always joke, they're always like, Jennifer, like, why did you get into this industry? I was like, because I could drink rosé on a boat.
What am I doing in AI?
I know. That's okay. It's okay. You know what? You can have AI pay the bills so that you can go yacht and drink rosé on a boat.
Smart. I'll be renting from you when I visit Croatia.
Correct. So yeah, I started, I actually had no background in yachting at all. And it's actually a true story. Like, I was sitting there on my balcony, and the balcony overlooks the Adriatic Sea. And I was sitting there going, how can I be here every single summer? My partner at the time had been in the yachting industry for about 15 years. So he had always wanted to open up his own company. And I, like I said, knew I liked to drink rosé on a boat.
You know, these are the dreams that make us successful.
But I really didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. But I did know that for me, it was really important to be very social media forward. Because at the time, when you look at the world 9 years ago, this was before COVID even, everything was social media, Facebook groups, and it's still something that we use today. And I think that's why we were able to really excel super fast within our industry. It's really hard actually to break into the yachting industry. There's a lot of, old guards in the industry who are really wonderful, but they've been there since the 1950s.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So we were a baby company coming in, and I just knew, and I looked at the whole landscape of what everyone else was doing, and everyone else was very much like, you have your customer base, which is amazing. You have your booklet, that's amazing, but not a lot of people were really embracing social media. And that's kind of where we came in, and that's actually why I'm so excited about AI, because that's kind of our future, is that we want to be a yacht company that embraces AI and uses it for our own advantage.
Speaking of AI, what have you found has been working as you run your business and you're expanding globally too?
Yes.
So where does AI come in on this, and what have you absolutely loved about it?
Yeah, well, I'm excited because we've been pretty much based in Croatia, and after people had come to Croatia, which you need to come.
I'll be there.
There's 1,244 islands off the coast of Croatia.
Okay, that's a long trip.
Or you just come back every year,
I like that idea.
So what ended up happening was clients would come to us, they would explore Croatia, they'd come back a couple times, and they would say, I want to go somewhere else. And at the time I was like, you could just come back to Croatia.
Valid.
So I then started booking in Caribbean, in Greece, and in Italy. And they're very different markets down there, and we actually started selling to the Southeast market. And we've now are in the process of our official expansion, which is so exciting. It's going to be called Luxury Yacht Rentals. And our whole focus is AI. And something that we're currently working on within our company at the moment is we use a lot, we have international clients. So, something that's really worked really well for us is the integration of translating. So, I can speak to someone from China. I can speak to, a lot of people in, China, Spain, all different languages. And it's not, it's not hard. It's so easy. And it's not like how Google Translate was 10 years ago, where it wasn't that great of a translation.
No, and I've traveled a lot and used Google Translate, and there's always been the look on the other person's face of like, I see what you've been trying to say, but it was not.
Exactly.
Well.
It's like you're trying to say, can I please have a coffee? And it's like, I will give you a cat.
Yes.
So, yes, that's something that's been working super well for us. And we also like our brochures, all of our yachting brochures have been in English, and it's the thought of hiring someone to translate all of these brochures. I mean, we have a whole list of boats in Croatia, including our own boats that we own. And now it's super simple. You know, we can actually take a brochure, we can cater to that market, we can see what works, and it's great. So I'd say like more on the marketing front and on communication is where we currently use AI in our company.
Within the marketing space,
Yeah.
how do you use AI? Is there a favorite tool that you have?
Ooh, at the moment, you'd have to ask my marketing lady because she does all the marketing for it.
Okay.
So she would be wonderful to ask that question. But in terms of AI within our email system, I mean, Gemini is super easy. You know, like Gemini is something super easy you can use. It's integrated into our email system, which can easily translate like all of your emails for whatever person that you're talking to.
I do like how Gemini is available.
I know.
The Google Suite.
I know.
Every time I need just a little thing, you don't have to
It's
transfer
true.
your entire context into
It's true.
ChatGPT or Claude. It's handy.
True. It is really, really awesome.
So tell me, where does AI fail in your world? And I'm really curious because, especially in the luxury rental market, you do want that human, personalized experience.
Correct.
Someone that knows you, knows your needs, knows your family, whoever you're traveling with. So where is it not the hottest tool?
So it's so great that you asked this because this is kind of the journey that I'm on right now. We are currently expanding our company, Luxury Yacht Rentals. It's catering to market beyond, you know, Croatia, and we're actually having a hard time finding exactly what we need. So for us, what we really want is that we want to create basically a platform that helps funnel our clients. So one of the problems, I would say, it's not a problem, it's just new time yachters don't know what they want when they're renting a yacht. So have you seen Below Deck?
I have, yes.
Everybody loves Below Deck. And when they call for a yacht, they all want that boat. They go, hello, Jennifer, I would like this boat. I like this boat from Below Deck. I'm like, great, what's your budget? You know? and they go, what's your budget? And they're quite surprised when they hear that the boat that they want costs 100,000 euros plus per week. So it's a lot of back and forth, you know, that initial transaction. You know, someone goes, I need a jacuzzi, I need 5 staff, I need everything, I want it to be below deck, I need this and this and this. And I'm like, okay, great, 250,000. And they're like, no, I want like maybe 8,000. I'm like, so a sailboat.
Ah.
So a sailboat. Okay, you can do a sailboat for 4 or 5 days. So, you know, I think that it would really help us because I want to pair you with the best boat. I want to make sure that you have the best experience. But we almost spend so much time in the process of like teaching the clients what it is to yacht. And that's not for every client, but I would say it's for about 80% of our clients. And because it's not a typical kind of vacation. A lot of people are booking hotels or doing this.
Right.
So it would be wonderful. What we're trying to do is build out something that really you're able to interact with it and say like, this is what I want, this is my budget, or even like a vibe. Like I'm all about experiences, right? Like I kind of imagine like someone being like, my vibe is Aperol Spritz and drinking with the background of pine trees, and they'd be like, okay, Croatia's a good option, you know. Or like, my vibe is like, you know, I don't know, a Mai Tai, you know? So I would love to incorporate that and have that so that when you come to our website, you come to everything, that's the first thing you're interacting with. And then that gives me the opportunity, gives my, you know, my team and my brokers opportunity to really find the perfect fit for you.
It sounds like there's just so many inputs here. There's
Yeah.
not only the actual type of boat, which I do not know my boats, and the differences between them. So I wouldn't necessarily come in and saying I want a specific type of boat because I don't even know all the options.
Exactly.
Then there's the features on the boat, the number of staff, the budget concerns, the place, where do I want the boat, all of that. And as someone who has rented a boat before, I don't usually come in with specifications.
Yeah.
I come in with, I'm having a birthday party and I want it to be a bash. And I, you know, like you said, the feeling around it.
Exactly.
And it seems like a lot of the discoverability, especially when it's around AI, it's still very tactical.
Yes.
Of like, what is the exact boat you want? Like, I don't know.
Exactly. and that's the thing. And that's you just nailed it, like right on the point. Exactly what it is. And to your point, you want to rent a boat for your birthday. So, but you don't know what the heck you want, you know? And I would love that step to be like really supportive. And so that it's supportive for you because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And then it's supportive for me because then I can help you find what you want.
Yes, exactly. How do people typically use AI, if you know, to find boats? Is it more like a Gemini thing? I know you mentioned they found it on social media, but now we are in this AI world. Do you have people coming to you saying that they tried using AI and it didn't work and now they're like, all right, Jennifer?
I've actually like blessed AI on some retrospects. So I would say that some people like AI still has some time to go, right? So they'll find something and then they'll come to me and they'll say like, well, this is the price. And I'm like, I understand that's what it said, but it's not. And then another like kind of funny AI story is, so yachting depends on weather, right? And so we had a client that came onto our boat and he wanted to go in this bay because he had friends that wanted to also be in this bay, but there was like 25 knots of wind, which means there's a lot of freaking wind and it wouldn't be pleasant to be anchored. They needed to go into marina. So he asked ChatGPT if he's able to anchor in that wind and called me very angry and talked to the captain saying that ChatGPT told him that it was possible.
Oh my God. This is the classic example of don't believe everything ChatGPT tells you.
So, and I was like, I don't care what ChatGPT says. You need to trust the captain.
Yeah, the guy that's been doing this more than ChatGPT.
Exactly. The guy who's been doing this more than ChatGPT has been on the market. But he was so serious about it. He was just like, I checked, and this is what it says. He screenshotted it to me. He even like circled it with the pen, and I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is another good example. Like ChatGPT is an amazing general purpose model.
Yes.
But for it to have given a much more accurate response, it needs to be in the place that that guy was in with all of the weather reports.
Correct.
Like knowing the entire situation, and then it would have been able to give a more accurate response. Not thinking that you're somewhere super sunny and saying, yep, you're safe when you're not safe.
And I'm sure he typed in like, can I anchor in a bay during 24 nights? So that's like a little funny AI story. I guess in the whole like what's not working yet category.
It sounds like it.
But you know what? I think that it's all, there's always some positives and there's always some things to work on kind of thing.
Yes, and tell me about how luxury yacht rental businesses are run, because as we just discussed, the AI response is only as good as the data that is put into it. What does it look like on the back end?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of humans. You know, it's a lot of humans. So, you know, in terms of how we run, in terms of like our company you're talking about and how we run.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's a lot of hands-on approach, you know, like I think one of the things is like so me and my team, you know, we have other people that work for us too, and I have other brokers that come in, and it's a lot of communicating with the clients, a lot of teaching a lot of times. You know, like I mentioned earlier, it's teaching them what is yachting, what kind of boat do you want, what is your budget, everything like that. It's really time consuming, you know, and then not all reservations come through, you know, so it's like you've spent maybe a month and a half talking with a client. The same thing with yacht sales. Yacht sales is even longer. I think AI could even be an amazing tool for yacht sales too, is to figuring out what boat you may want to buy before you even put your feet on a boat. You know, I think it would save a lot of time, not just for the person and broker selling it, but also, you know, the client itself. I really do believe that there's some beautiful things that can help with the yachting industry and AI.
Because it sounds like there's a big just onboarding issue, as you mentioned,
Exactly.
the back and forth.
Exactly.
Like, hi, Jennifer. Hi, Galina.
It's true. It's true.
What do you want?
It's true. What do you want? I want below deck. Let's go more.
Right, right.
So yes, onboarding I think would be an amazing support. And you're not stealing humans' jobs. You're making it easier for both of us, to be honest with you. And I think that's where a lot of like the, you know, companies that have been here for a while, I almost feel like they're trying to ignore it. And it's not something you can ignore, you know, like artificial intelligence is here. And not only that, but like, why wouldn't you want to make your life easier? You know, why wouldn't you want to be, I could be more supportive for you and I can help you more knowing what you need.
Yes, there are some very basic things such as place and budget that can be automated during the onboarding. But when I say what type of vibe I want, or if it was a bachelorette party, you know, you have a better sense of the entire experience and then could tailor towards the tail end of that conversation versus doing all of the probably super boring logistics up front.
Exactly.
To that, what is your wish list? What do you wish that AI builders would create to help you develop these amazing experiences for clients?
You know, I would really love the accessibility and easy integration when, like, right now I am trying to build this platform and this website and I'm really struggling to find the tools to actually help me get to where I am. We're doing it. It's just like, it's like this, you know, like I think it'd be, for example, when you think about when you used to build a website 20 years ago, you need to have a web developer, right? And now you have so many different programs that even if you didn't know anything about websites, you could just plug and play, right?
Space, and I love it. I built my family's business's websites. It's so easy.
Exactly. For us, we can't use that obviously because we have a whole AI platform integration that we're integrating into our new company, Luxury Yacht Rentals. So it would be nice to see it more accessible, you know, and to not have to go through like 500 loops. And I feel like there's only a small portion of people that really understand how to use AI. And then I feel like there's everyone else that is just like, I'm hungry, what do I eat? You know, like, and it would be nice to like almost have those tools more accessible so that people actually can use them, you know, and easily use them. So that's my random wish list.
I remember seeing, it was a LinkedIn post a while ago, but ChatGPT used to look very, very technical, where it would show you token amounts. I mean, the entire UI was not for the common user. And the ChatGPT that we know now is they got rid of all of the technical information. They give you ideas of what you can create. And we have things like Lovable, which you can prompt to code and a lot of this stuff. So I think it's getting better. But there's still a much longer road ahead. And to your point, you have to learn a new language to talk to the AI.
And I think that's the craziest part of all of this, right? It's even once we implement all of this, then we're going to have to go to a training program to actually train our employees. So it's going to be a two-step process, but it's also exciting. You know, I get really nerdy and excited about these type of things. So I think it's really cool. And I'm interested to see how it will all pan out. And that's kind of where I'm at, I'm almost going to use this as an experiment for my own company, because Anchor Croatia is going to still operate how it's operating. Luxury Yacht Rentals is going to be compared.
How are you thinking about building AI features for the new company?
Yeah, so definitely, like I said, in terms of assisting clients, assisting brokers, so that's going to be in the platform itself. When people come onto our website, that's going to be really frontal there. And then like on the back end of it, I really want to integrate, I really want to integrate AI into creating really informative like client profiles for everybody. Because like the goal is to always keep your clients, right? And you do have basic programs that do that right now, but not to the extent that I would like to have it. So to have more comprehensive client profiles, to just have they go on a boat and just remembering the fact that like they went to all of these locations on the boat, they drank this wine, so something like that. So on their next charter, to really integrate that. And I feel like using AI tools for that could be really helpful.
That's such a thoughtful experience.
Yeah.
And as a buyer, I would love that. It's easier for you to remember what wine I drank. And in the next rental, if that boat was stocked with that wine, I would rent from you all the time.
And it helps, all of that stuff, I think, helps building that personal experience. You know, a lot of people talk about how AI is taking away personal experience, but if you're able to use the tools to help build it even more, why wouldn't you?
Yes. So are you envisioning the first point of contact with your clients is still an intro call, and then they would go through an onboarding process where you would get their information and then build these profiles?
I actually think I would do it actually opposite. What we're planning on doing is the first point of contact is you come to our website and you do like, it's almost like an intake without calling it an intake form. It's like, what's your vibe, you know? So that the first call you have with me, I can really give you some solid information. Versus normally when the first call you have with me, it's, I'm trying to learn anything to get you on the same page.
I like the what's your vibe question.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. What's your vibe? Because everyone has a different vibe. You know, I had a client once that told me they only wanted to rent a boat that had light colors. Like literally, like exactly, like the interior had to be all light interiors, like something like this couch. No dark interiors, only light colors. So I literally had to search through yachts. But imagine that I already had my own database of boats and I could just type in light colored boats. And then all of those boats would come up with light colored boats. I mean, how cool would that be?
That would be so much simpler.
Exactly. And it would not waste like an hour and a half of my life.
Yes. Does every broker like yourself need to create your own database, or is there information available from rental places where you can plug into?
So they do have websites that are kind of like where central agents will post boats. But as a broker, one of our jobs is like we only like to recommend boats that we know, owners that we know. We go to yacht shows, like I go to a lot of yacht shows. And that is something that you're doing. So technically there is databases, but you wouldn't just want to throw, it's like almost like when you're buying a house, right? When you're buying a house, like you don't want to throw every house that has light interiors. You want to make sure that you really enjoy that house that you want to even see. So it's the same thing with boats. Like, you know, only a small percentage of people can actually see the boat, and that's why yacht brokers come in, because we get to go on the boats, we meet the crew, you know, a lot of times we'll actually be on the boat. So it's in that capacity really important. And I don't think having like a full-on database of all of the boats would make sense. It would have to be like an internal database.
I see. So it sounds, I love this human and AI partnership that you're talking about. To your point, there's still some things that can't be automated, such as getting the sense of a boat, the crew, and whether you would want to recommend that, rather than asking ChatGPT for the list, and then ChatGPT has not been on a boat.
No, but it's true. And one of the things that makes yachting special is not even the boat, it's the people. You know, and for me, when I go on a boat and when I go to a yacht show, I'm looking at who's the hostess, who's the captain, everything like that. So that's really important to me, because all 5 boats can be the same. They could be the same model, the same everything. You're not going to care. I mean, most people won't care about light interiors.
It's a very specific request.
Most people. But for me, it's really about like the people and the experience and the vibe.
I'd like to talk about discoverability. How can clients use AI to find you, or you use AI to find clients?
It's really great that you asked that, because it kind of goes back into why even we're moving on to the AI world. Prior to this, like I said, we were the forefront of just using social media for advantage. Like we have also Facebook groups that are over 150,000, you know. Our social media is like really forefront, and we've got so many clients through social media. AI is just this other beast that we're really learning right now, and, you know, learning how does AI find us, and like how do we cater to that? And so when someone Googles, you know, yacht company in Croatia, or yachting in the Caribbean, or, you know, luxury yachts, like how do you get on to ChatGPT, on Gemini, on the different AI platforms? And it's really, I mean, it's like a new science.
Just as you had to learn about posting and the type of content and the cadence and all of that, now you have to relearn for this AI world.
I know, it's like learning a new science and a new language.
My follow-up question to that is, how are you learning the new language? Is it just trial by error?
A lot of trial by error. I have my lovely head of marketing lady. She has really adopted all of this and is really diving into it. So she's doing a lot of the kind of grunt work on it. I get a lot of the like frustration, like, oh my God, this is what I learned today. And oh my God, we have to do this. And I'm like, okay, we're going to do it. Don't worry. For me personally, I started to sign up for AI conferences because I feel like there's so much information online, but I think it's important to learn from people that are actively in that space. So that's really interesting to me, is meeting people who are currently working in the industry, seeing what's new, seeing what's everything. Because a lot of stuff, even online, is either outdated because AI is changing so fast.
It is.
And
I'm deep in AI and I'm still
Yes.
getting whiplash.
It's changing so fast. So something that you can maybe go online and take a course. In AI world, that's like 5 years ago that happened, and it was only maybe like 6 months ago. So I find going to conferences very useful because you'll have speakers really speaking to what's currently happening and what's the trajectory of happening.
Which is interesting that you wouldn't just ask ChatGPT what's happening in AI.
Right? I know. Well, it's because they told my client that they can dock in 25 knots of wind.
And that's not good advice.
See, I need a human component to learn about the computer.
Yes. Any other ways that AI has surprisingly showed up in your life, whether that's in scheduling or how you deal with clients?
I would say positives and negatives. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so the positives is that in terms of where people want to go, like when they ask a place, it's a lot easier for them to research. They're like, oh, I would love to go to this island or this place or see this bay, which is really cool. The, I guess, not so great part is, a lot of times people will come and say, I would love to go from Croatia to Kotor. And I'm like, did you look on the map? They're like, no, but AI said it could do this and this and this. And I'm like, yes, anything is possible. You could take an airplane. So I see it on both sides. I find it on both sides where it's great because I feel like people are taking like charge of their own vacations, their own worlds. But then on the flip side, it's sometimes not good because like we've discussed, it's not all 100% accurate, right? And they can tell you something crazy sometimes. Like I literally had a client asking me if they can go from Split to Kotor in 5 days. And I was like, open up Google Maps. And politely, I just said, unfortunately that's not possible. And they're like, oh, well, actually, ChatGPT gave me this recommendation. And I was like, okay.
It sounds like ChatGPT is doing more harm for you.
It's I wouldn't say it's doing harm. It's just on certain cases, I think it's like, what are you doing? ChatGPT, stop saying that. But it's learning. It's learning. In a year, it won't do that.
If you had one AI tool, it could be a better version of ChatGPT or anything that would just make your job so much easier, what would it be?
I would say in the back end. In the back end is helping to organize like my clients and doing, for example, a client comes on board and they spend a week with me. I really want to get like really personable about what wine they're drinking, where they visited, their kids' birthdays. And I would love to have it where it's a really easy way to organize that information on the back end. And on the back end, that would be an amazing tool to have. You do have some software that is catered to charter companies, but I feel like in general, charter companies and even sales companies in yachting almost get forgotten in the AI world. There isn't a lot of tools that cater to us, and it would just be amazing to have more tools available.
I will tell you from personal experience, the AI builders in Silicon Valley want to do hackathons and eat pizza and stay indoors. They don't want to go on a boat. So the issue lies in.
Yes. Well, then I invite y'all to come on a boat.
Silicon Valley trip to Croatia.
Silicon Valley trip to Croatia. easy.
this.
It's a hackathon on a boat. Come on, we'll hang out and you can help solve my problems.
Wow. Well, it's very hard to say no to that.
Yes.
But if people wanted to get in touch with you or rent a boat, what is the best way?
So right now the best way is through my primary company, Anchor Croatia. And then in the next couple months, you will see luxury yacht rentals on the market, but that's coming. So Anchor Croatia is the best way. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Anchor Croatia. So come hang out with us in Croatia.
Wonderful. Jennifer, thank you so much for the
Yeah,
time.
of
And
course.
I will catch you in Croatia.
Yes, it's happening.